starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot.
He can set traps. He can use his legs to move around a little bit and wait for the right spot, the right entry point to come in with a dangerous guy.
In anticipation of his rematch with Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis is still displaying vicious power. Those connected to the camp claim that he dropped his partner with a single stunning punch during a recent sparring session. Has used terrifying force to knock out heavyweight opponents in sparring. His rigorous training regimens are a dead giveaway that he wants to win the rematch.
Once Tank felt one more power, you actually really think that one more can take Gervonta's power?
I don't think anybody can take his power. You know he knocked out heavyweights? What happened?
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight?
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. And like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Gearing up for the highly anticipated rematch, Gervonta Davis is training with unmatched intensity. Recent footage shows him unleashing rapid-fire combinations with explosive speed, emphasizing both power and precision. His camp's focus is clear: eliminate all weaknesses and step into the ring fully prepared. Davis isn't leaving anything to chance this time. The sharpness in his punches and his relentless commitment to improvement. Highlight just how seriously he's approaching this bout. Adding to the anticipation, Terrence Crawford recently shared his perspective on Davis's raw power, emphasized that Davis's knockout ability isn't just about brute strength, but also elite timing and pinpoint accuracy. Crawford's insight echoes a growing consensus in the boxing world. Davis is a dangerous opponent who needs only one opening to change the course of a fight. His reputation for one-punch knockouts continues to rise, earning the respect of the sport's top-tier fighters and fueling excitement for what's to come.
He's one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power.
So, you know, he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch.
Perception of Davis has changed as a result of the draw against Lamont Roach. This outcome casts doubt on a boxer who was previously thought to be unbeatable. Now, analysts wonder if Davis has begun to deteriorate, or if the battle revealed weaknesses in his preparation. The strain Davis is currently under to prove himself is reflected in Bradley's criticism. Regaining his position in the sport and demonstrating that the draw was an anomaly rather than the new standard are the goals of the impending rematch.
Look like a real businessman now, you know. He's not all loud and crazy like he was. He's kind of calmed it and tamed it down a bit. So I respect that with Ryan, man, and I think he's gonna be a lot more focused now, and he's actually gonna go and train, and he's gonna definitely put on a show, and I think he's gonna win, man. I think he's gonna win by knockout.
How long does that fight go, in your opinion?
It won't go past 6.
Oh, everyone's been saying that.
I don't think it goes past 6.
Why?
What's up, fam?
Why do you guys think it?
Nah, there's too many holes. Too many holes in the game. Too many holes. Too many holes. Can improve in or improve on, and you know they're gonna come back and they're gonna put their best foot forward, bro. But like, look, if this shit don't motivate you, Tank, you know the fact you got to draw, the fact that you had a big fight lined up with Jake Paul after this, and now you got to wait, and now you got to do this rematch, bro. If this don't motivate you, I don't know what will. You know what I'm saying? Because like his name right now is getting drugged through the mud. You know, and all those fans that was on his side, bro, a lot of them are switching teams now, you know? So, you know, look, he got a lot to prove, not only to himself, but a lot to prove to his fans and his fan base out there. So he go back in there, had his rematch, and he do what he's supposed to do, like he's supposed to do the first time around, then all the shit that happened in the pad, it swept under the rug. Because that's just how, you know, the fans is and the sport is. You know, and then he moves on.
Davis' versatility, which allows him to dictate the fight's tempo whether he decides To box from range or apply pressure is one trait that still sets him apart from many of his contemporaries. He can adapt in real time thanks to his adaptability and style, which could be a deciding factor in the rematch. Although Roach might have won the first encounter, Davis's capacity for learning and reaction might totally change the course of the second fight.
He can set traps. He can use his legs to move around a little bit and wait for the right spot, the right entry point to come in with a dangerous guy. He can do it all, and he can figure it out on the fly with the cerebral part I'm talking about. Right? And he's at his prime. See, that's the key. That's the part you got to put in there. He's at his prime.
He reminds me of the old-time janitors, the superintendents in the big buildings, those big buildings, and they had a big brass key ring about this big with 1,000 keys on it. But every key, they knew that key was for a certain door to get into the building. When he's moving around, I'm saying he's the super with that big key ring, and he's looking for the right key to get in the door.
You're great with the analogies. I love that. I love the analogies.
And he finds the right key.
He does.
He doesn't walk into a room and like bang, oh my God, I shouldn't open that door. And a lot of guys do. Romero walked into that room. Garcia walked into that room.
Yeah.
So he don't, and that's part of what separates him and makes him a guy that's one of the most complete fighters right now of all time.
The first battle, Davis shocked a lot of people by providing surprising justifications for his actions, and did not like some of the arguments he gave, since they seemed like excuses. The anticipation to the rematch has intensified as a result of these remarks, which were perceived as dodging responsibility and undermining respect for Roach's efforts. Critics are hoping that Davis will be able to support his claims with performance, rather than justifications. Full HD, the story of this battle is starting to resemble the well-known Mayweather versus Maidana rivalry. In that instance, Maidana seriously challenged Mayweather in the opening fight, but Floyd successfully changed tactics during the rematch. In the same vein, Davis now has to adjust and react to Roach's impressive performance. Boxing fans are familiar with the plot, early skepticism, followed by redemption. Davis now has the opportunity to craft his own version of that story.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all his receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet.
After the Roach fight, there were reports that Davis may quit boxing, but his actions indicate that he is still committed to the sport. His decision to go for the rematch right away indicates this. Davis is demonstrating his desire to appropriately end this chapter by putting retirement talks aside. His character has gained depth as a result of this decision, demonstrating that he isn't prepared to depart without making amends.
Thumbs up, because this is what's going to happen. If y'all remember the Mayweather and Maidana match, Where Madonna, everybody thought Madonna beat Mayweather in the first match when they fought each other. Like he dominated him, he beat him. Same thing goes here. Lamont Roach, everybody's saying that he dominated Gervonta Davis, but this is not going to happen in the rematch. Gervonta Davis is going to dominate Lamont Roach. If y'all agree with me on what I'm telling y'all, this is just like the Mayweather-Madonna fight. I'm trying to tell you. Lamont Roach is going to lose in the rematch, and that's a guarantee. That's not a prediction.
The reality won't be known until the bell rings. Despite all the interviews, discussions on social media, and guesses that have been going around, this rematch is about establishing legacy, not just settling a score. The moment the punches begin to fly, all of the pre-fight talk will be for nothing. The boxing world is waiting for that clarity, because the ring will ultimately determine who really deserves the limelight.
Yep. It looks like Tank was not playing about this rematch, man. He's looking to probably get back in the ring with Roach by the end of May. And as far as that retirement stuff, it looks like that's out the window as well.
Course of your plans for your future?
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now. For sure.
But I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. As much as, we hate the fact that he had a draw, I think this was the best thing for Tank. Then the press conferences and everything like that, he was kind of forcing himself to be interested. And I only know one person that can bring his interest back. Calvin is the key, man. Calvin has known Tank since he was a child. Nobody knows Tank more than Cal, man. He's the only person that I believe that can bring the best out of Tank. But what do y'all think, man? What do you think Tank needs to do differently in his next fight so he can get back to doing stuff like this, man, at the end of his fights? Comment down.
I want to know when is the rematch going to happen at this point, because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay, because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do, y'all. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving them no day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be two stuff like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. I'm not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen, because never know, he might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch, because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that
everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They say it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident, because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's gonna fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was confident and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from a situation. That's why I think he being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning, like when he was with Floyd. Like, I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got, like, you know, a little bit more.